Hi, my name is Mason McFarland, and my speech is over why NASCAR is a sport. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. I heard those words every Sunday. My dad loves NASCAR. Every Sunday after church, I knew where he'd be, sitting on the couch watching the race. Growing up, I didn't really like NASCAR. I thought it was pretty boring, just a bunch of cars that turned left. But really, there's a lot more to NASCAR that people do not know about. NASCAR is a physically demanding sport, just as demanding as any other sport there is. NASCAR is a sport because of the conditions inside the car that the driver must go through, pit crews, and the definition of what a sport really is. First, let's talk about the conditions inside the car. Drivers must deal with high heat levels and amounts of G-force at a time. According to Caroline Rex, author of Think You Could Drive a NASCAR? Think Again, she states, a 160-pound driver feels like 480 pounds on a turn. NASCAR drivers experience 3 Gs of force in every turn of every race. It takes an extreme amount of upper body strength to be able to hold the line of the car while being pushed up by G-force up the track to the wall. Drivers must also experience high level of heat. Cars can get up to 120 degrees, plus all the drivers are wearing full body fire resistant suits and a helmet. Drivers have to endure this heat for up to 3 hours at a time. Once the driver gets in the car, he cannot exit until the race is over. Allegedly, Brian Vickers lost 16 pounds in one race after his cooling system broke in his car. Drivers must begin hydrating days before the race. If drivers are training the same as any other sport athlete, then why are they not considered athletes as well? If this hasn't changed your mind yet, luckily I have more. Second, I want to talk about NASCAR pit crews. NASCAR pit crews are very crucial to the race because if your pit crew's slow, your car's slow. Alondra Segunya is an author of NASCAR Pit Crews, The Hidden Athletes of Racing. She wrote, rather than hiring a mechanic who may have some athletic abilities, teams now look to recruit raw athletes, usually played a college competitive sport, and then teach them mechanics to it. Pit crews watch film, practice, and work out just like a football team would. The pit crew's job is to make sure the car is running safely, fast, and able to get it in and out of the pits faster than the teams of the other cars. Pit crews are literally athletes that just change sports. This is just one reason why NASCAR is a sport. Lastly, I will talk about what it means to be a sport. Bing says the definition of sport is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against one another or for entertainment. NASCAR takes physical exertion and skill, and its drivers and pit crews compete against the other teams. So technically, by definition, NASCAR is a sport. NASCAR checks off all the boxes to be a sport. And after my research, I realized that NASCAR is one of the toughest sports there is. Some people believe that NASCAR is not a sport because the car does all the work, or that sports do not include engines or machines. But NASCAR is more than that. In conclusion, NASCAR is a sport because the conditions that drivers are put in. The pit crews are a part of teams which include working out, practicing, and watching film together. And the definition of sports lines up exactly to NASCAR. Now that you have learned about what goes on behind the scenes of NASCAR, let's give these drivers and teams the respect they deserve. Thank you.